All right, so as we're looking at Section 5a, we're kind of jumping from ratios and proportions into probability these last two sections. And we're going to talk about two different types of probability. Theoretical, which is the idea of what something might happen, and experimental, what's going to happen based on what's happened in the past. Now, you go to the Super Bowl and you flip a coin, what's the chance it's going to end up heads? 50%. So it comes up heads. What's the chance it's going to end up coming up heads again on the second flip? It's still 50%. But if I strung all those ideas together, what's the chance you flip a heads 10 times in a row? Is it still 50%? No, it changes. And so that's what we're going to kind of dialogue and talk about today in terms of basic probability and kind of starting there, and then we're going to be building on probability all throughout the year. Now, some terminology. If you see a capital P outside a parentheses with something in the middle, that means what is the chance or what is the probability of what's in the middle occurring. So whatever the event is, maybe it's the probability of an odd number. Maybe it's the probability of picking someone with brown hair. But that's what that's going to mean. The outcome is the result of whatever it is that happens. We roll the die, the outcome was a 3, so the outcome's a 3. An event is the group of outcomes. The sample space is all the possible outcomes. If I said throw all your names in a hat, and what's the chance that I pull out a name beginning with the letter N? Okay, whose names begin with the letter N? Okay, so the chance of that would be 1 out of 22. So the sample space would be all of your names. That would be the example of a sample space. Now the complement. Let's say there's 22 people in here. What's the chance of me pulling out someone with the letter N? 1 out of 22. Now, the complement of that is the opposite. What's the chance of not pulling out someone's name who begins with N? If 1 out of 22 is, the complement is 21 out of 22. So whenever you see the word complement, it's like the opposite thing happening. So just kind of some terminology. So, we're imagining a 6-sided die. The sample space on our die is the following numbers. It's a normal die. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. It's not to throw any curves at you. So, that's our sample space. Those are the possible numbers. So what's the chance that it's going to be even? How many even numbers do we have? 3 out of 6. Okay? It's the number of times it might happen divided by the total number of times it could have in our sample space. Now, just so we're very clear, we must reduce all answers. So, what does 3 6 reduce to? 1/2. Little review. What's the chance something's going to be a prime number? Before we answer that, which of these numbers are prime? Or what is a prime number? Someone give me the definition of a prime. Anyone remember the definition? Matt? Okay, a number that can only be divided, what did you say? By itself or 1. So, is 6 a prime? No, because you can divide it by 2. Is 5 a prime? Okay, so that's 1. Is 4 a prime? No. Is 3 a prime? Yes. Is 2 a prime? Yes, it is. Now, this is not a trick question, but you have to understand 1 is not prime. Okay? It's just that's by definition 1 is not prime. So how many numbers were prime? 3 of them. So 3 out of 6, which leads to a possibility of 1/2. So 2 ideas there. What is a prime number, first of all, and then second, just how to actually find the probability. Okay, next one. A number that starts with the letter T. Well, does 1 start with the letter T? No. Does 2? Okay, that's 1. Does 3? That's 2. does 4. 5, 6. So what's the probability of picking a number that starts with the letter T? 2 out of 6, which is 1/3. Okay? We're going to change this last one. Instead of saying the complement of prime, we're going to say the complement of beginning with T. Okay? The chance that it starts with a T is 1/3. So what's the chance that it doesn't start with T? 2/3. 2/3 is what's left over as that possibility. Now a little trivia question. Sidebar. If I was creating a pattern out of these 6 numbers, let's see if you can figure out the pattern. Okay, I'll give you four of them, and you give me the last 2. The first number is 4. The second number is 5. The third number is 1. The fourth number is 6. Can you tell me which comes first, 2 or 3? Little puzzle. Which comes first, 2 or 3? Any ideas? Why? Not saying it's right or wrong, but why? Why? What if I wrote the numbers out this way? Thoughts to what comes next? The number that comes next is 3. Why? Justin? It's alphabetical. Very good. Very good. Anybody think of that? It's a good little trivia question.